Alright, so half down for everything with you? They had to pay half now? You're not saying
Me,
that.
nah, I
answer.
prefer upfront most of the time. Like I take the payment upfront.
Well, you never do anything for the government.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, that didn't happen with the government.
I did one for corporate and they taken real long to pay back.
Yeah. I know about that.
Yeah, real long. But I mean, I did put in the contract that you have to pay me within 30 days. Otherwise, it will have like an interest rate every week.
Mm-hmm.
The whole your breath on now.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then walk up. I understand, and to talk to you and hear about it, and especially since you're so young, probably, well, of course, early 20s, and you're doing these things, that's get slightly inspirational, because like I could tell my students, I was like, yeah, it's possible, you just had to be like willing to go through the fight. So into like, what would be the biggest fight that you think you had to go through to get that kind of influencer sort of not status, but be recognized enough that somebody's willing to pay you money to show the SPCS virtual or whatever it is.
I would say like definitely it had a lot to do with people will only look at you one-dimensionally online, and they wouldn't think that it is that you are a holistic individual, and like they will only see you one type of way.
Words like holistic.
Yeah.
They will only see you one type of way.
Yeah.
So to corporate, I always look like this girl just cussing right through, and she's saying dog for everything. Like why would we hire her for anything now?
Yeah.
So that is when it is like I realized, this is like the persona that it is that I was putting on rather is a side of myself that it is that I genuinely have and exaggerate to the extent of, okay, well, fellas will respect me in these spaces that now. They can't come around me thirsty. Even though it is, they still come around me thirsty and thing. Like, I can't no fight in that, right?
Well,
so I was like, okay.
That's the nature of,
Let me be a little bit more relatable. Let me be a little bit more realistic. Let me be like, the intellectual side of myself, a little bit more soft, So I was like, okay.
Yeah,
because I mean, a whole year cultivating that, by the way, yeah? Serious thing.
Yeah, I wanted to say, yeah, I think I noticed that. I think I saw a video where you actually let someone do your makeup, and it was like, that was the first time in your life, you're doing makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
For me, I'm very indifferent about physical attractiveness, but a lot of people, like, everybody have a gauge on it, and I just don't. So, I'm not unaware that it is that I'm attractive. I just don't want to use the way it is that I look to gain any type of way in life now. But what I realized too is, like, people, they themselves, they'll be curious, like, well, you could look like this, well, you could look like that. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I indifferent it and I don't really mind trying. But if it is you ask me personally on a day-to-day life, like, I just gotta sit down in my house, probably like in a towel or something, in a corner, like, honestly, that is just me. Like, I don't care.
But that don't scare you in terms of like when it comes to the public, everybody always care about appearance. And that's something I struggled with when I was younger too. Because I really don't care. Really, I don't care. But like a big man now, married, had children and thing and whatnot, like I genuinely don't care. And if you don't care, that's okay. It don't matter to me. But like from a young lady's perspective, everything is about how you look, boy. Everything.
Yeah.
And you don't care about the acne that you have. And sometimes your hair will be, and you just be like, yeah, well, my hair, kind of thing. But that's okay. Like focus on the thing, right? Because the hard part about it is our culture is so focused on a lot of entertaining and entertainment that when it comes to knowledge and issues and those kind of stuff, we always struggling to find like-minded people in that way. And you definitely have knowledge and the ability. So like there was a time, I can't remember when, you were talking about RAM and CPU speeds and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, look, another human being that cares about this and understands it. And she's a girl. Oh, look, she has acne. I don't care about that or whatnot. And there were other people, like other girls who I was teaching, because I teach in a girls' school. And they was like, hey, say, you watch this video? I was like, yeah, you should watch her. She's real cool. She has cost plenty, but that's nothing to all you, right? So it's cool. And that's something that stand out. But you don't always get people who like that non-superficial thing in Trinidad and Tobago. And
But half the comments on that is usually be, hey, you look good.
Sadly.
And I just be like that's all it is you get from what it is I just say.
Yeah, boy.
Oh my God. So I mean, in the earlys, you say when the brand deals wasn't coming in or whatever, I was thinking what really going on. But you ever felt the need to change who you is, the authentic person I is? You ever felt the need to change because the
temptation,
deal's not coming
a little
in?
pull, something.
So like one of my friends in the industry was telling me that it is that I should be a little bit more appealing for women. And I was like, you want me to be appealing for women? I barely even have like female friends. Like, what the hell it is you talking about? I went to all girls school and I come up with a trans friend. So what are you talking about, boy? So he was like, I mean, in a sense where we could sit down and we could talk and we could vibe and we could say this and that and the other, but like you don't show this side of yourself on the internet. Why it is you don't go and do that? And I was like, because in my mind, I live my life in such a way where it is like I just don't care. And everybody has like such an extreme opinion. It's either extreme red pill or you're extreme on the left. And in my head, it's like, nah, it could be a mix of both. But people don't respect middle ground opinions on the opinion. Like on the internet, like people always respect you're either far to the right or you're far to the left and nothing in between or somebody that just don't care. Because if you stand for nothing and you fall for everything and you always have to be a polarizing character. My polarization is, like I'm a girl, but like I have a lot of masculine tendencies, a lot of masculine traits. But, the thing about me talking about issues and topics, like the other day, I was on a podcast and they asked me like some question it was. And I was like, oh, well, younger men will have competition against older men to get girl that is their age, which is a fact, right? Now, a lot of people agree with that, right?
Yeah,
but then the majority of the people, which again, you could always predict what people are going to say because there's always a pattern if it is you see it over and over. Fellas will be like, oh, so all it is she care about is money. And I was like, I never say that. Man. I just say that it is, if he is an 18-year-old guy and he's competing against a 32-year-old guy for the same 19-year-old to 22-year-old girl, you're going to have it out for you because you don't even have a car, you don't have no money, you can't raise she. Like, you can't do that. You don't have the ability. You don't even have the emotional maturity. You don't have the stability in terms of mental stability, emotional stability. So, it's like all people would hear is what it is they already believe. And for me, I'm not here to convince anybody to believe what it is I believe. Yeah. I just they're like, okay, this is what it is I think. I don't really care what it is you think though. And then but people is just be so argumentative, like there's always look for something to be angry at.
So about your of your videos, right? Is the video that got the most views the video that you wanted to get the most views? Of course not, right?
I cannot predict that the SPCS one would have done good,
No, I talking about your organic content, like your organic content.
My organic content. I would say generally I don't really have a gauge on it,
Most of the times your organic content is be the ones where you talk about something and somebody totally misinterpret what you say and then they start to argue in the comments and then boom, that video starting to get real traction and you're like, wait, you all totally missed the points, and turn it into a political discussion. And the one that actually had the information, you'd be like, it's PNM fault, it's UNC fault. And you're like, damn it, I hate these people. That's what happened to you?
I mean, I think it just happened to me in a sense of, there was this one time it is where like I sit down, like the same prestige school thing, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people took what it is I said and they was like, you're just ungrateful for your experience. I was like, I'm not ungrateful. I smart. You may lie, I smart and I passed that school fair and square. I'm not ungrateful for the experience.
You fight in the comments?
Nah, I ain't bothered to do that. I mean, like some people was old and thing and I did try to explain to them, like, like what you think might be best for your child may not actually be the best because you don't know.
Yeah. Our comments fighting thing? Nah. No.
I just want to stack it to get more comments for more engagement. But like, I just genuinely just don't care. Like, you never catch me arguing with somebody. Like, I would respond, but then I would just forget what it is I say. Because I have so much notifications. I don't have time to go through all of that now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, going back to what your friend was telling you, in terms of doing content to appeal to women more, your content mightn't necessarily naturally appeal to women. Because I think your content, women not really not naturally interested in technology, and sad to say, but majority of women not naturally don't naturally. At least that's what I think from my
You're
experience.
fighting a while, but
I'm
you're
not fighting,
you're
I just
swing-
talking.
That's just a fact.
You're
Yes,
swinging
facts,
hard,
facts.
but you're
Most-
swinging hard.
I don't swinging hard. I just talking.
Yeah,
That is why I observe in my surrounding, and you
So
could probably
that is
attest to it too.
because like video games are marketed for boys.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys grew up playing games, whereas like you would buy a console for a boy, you buy a Barbie for a girl. It was just like that type of norm growing up, right? So a lot of the core mechanics on video games, a lot of guys already grew and adapt to because of their childhood, right? But if it is you're a girl and you never play a game in your life and you're trying to adapt to a normal game, simply moving with the ASWD keys is going to be a hard concept. Moving around the mouse to see POV, it's going to be a hard concept, whereas this is just like normal video game dynamics that has been integrated in like even the most casual games for years. So that is why girls are bad at games, because it stems from childhood. It was marketed towards boys.